Good day everyone. Today we are going to discuss about subsets of real numbers. When we say real numbers, these are the numbers that can be found on the number line. Normally, ang nakikita lang natin sa number line ay ang negative integers, 0 at positive integers. So yung mga yon considered na siya as real numbers. Pero aside from that, meron pa tayong mga real numbers na makikita sa pagitan ng dalawang integers. Some of them are yung mga decimal numbers, yung mga fractions natin. So later on, malalaman natin yung iba pang mga real numbers na meron tayo. But overall, when we say real numbers, kahit anong numbers pa man yan, whole numbers man yan, integers man yan, decimal or fractions, they are all called real numbers. Since subset of real numbers ang topic natin, may mga category si real numbers. Ang smallest category or smallest form of real numbers ay tinatawag na natural numbers. Natural numbers, in symbol, that's capital N, is the set of counting numbers. It is also known as the set of positive integers, which is in symbol, it is written as capital Z with a positive sign as an exponent. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi nating natural numbers, ito yung numbers that starts at 1, then followed by 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The next category of real numbers is the whole numbers. So, anong pinagkaiba ni whole numbers kay natural numbers? So, whole numbers in symbol, that's capital W, is the union of the set of natural numbers and 0. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabi nating whole numbers, it starts with 0. Unlike kay natural numbers, it starts with 1. Okay? The next category that we have is the integers. So, we already know that the integers is the union of the set of whole numbers and the opposite of the natural numbers, which is called as negative integers. Sa madalit sabi, ang integers natin ay yung positive integers, 0, at saka negative integers. Sabi natin kanina, yung positive integers, they are also called as natural numbers. So, yung positive at saka yung 0, pag pinagsama natin, whole numbers naman ang tawag. Okay? And then, yung whole numbers natin at saka negative integers, overall, ang tawag natin sa kanila ay integers, which has a symbol of capital Z. Next is the non-integers. So, non-integers are rational numbers which are not whole numbers nor negative integers. Kung babalikan natin yung definition natin ng rational numbers, sabi natin, rational numbers are any numbers that can be written in the form of A over B, where A and B are integers and B is not equal to 0. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi natin non-integers, this refers to the fractions and decimal numbers. So, yung decimal natin, it should be terminating and repeating decimal. So, babalikan ulit natin, pag sinabi natin terminating decimal, ibig sabihin, eksakto yung decimal number natin or yung digits natin, eksakto siya, okay? And then, pag repeating decimal, umuulit yung decimal numbers natin, okay? May pattern doon. So, example natin, we have 1/2, 3/5, 8 over 11. And then, yung decimal natin, 0.75, 1.3, 0.1, 23 with the repeating digit of 2 and 3. So, yung 0.75, that's the terminating decimal. 1.3 with a bar on the top of 3 and 0.123 at the bar at the top of 23, those are the repeating decimal. So, pag sinabi natin non-integers, it's a fraction and a terminating and repeating decimal numbers. So, rational numbers, it is a number that can be expressed as a quotient of two integers. Gaya na nasabi natin, that's A over B, where B is not equal to 0. So, sa madalit sabi, pag sinabi natin rational numbers, this can be fraction, this can be decimal numbers, this can be integers, or this can be something like this, okay? So, kung mababalikan din natin yung lesson natin last time, that is what we called yung mga perfect square numbers natin. So, such as square root of 16, that's equal to 4. Square root of 100, that's equal to 10. The cube root of 8, that means equal to 2. So, considered siya as rational numbers. Okay? Next is the irrational numbers. So, when we say irrational, these are the number that cannot be expressed as a quotient of two integers. So, ano yung mga irrational natin? Ibig sabihin, hindi siya fraction, hindi siya decimal, hindi rin siya whole numbers. Okay? So, meron tayong non-perfect and numbers. So, yan yung mga examples natin. Yung square root of 3, since ang 3 ay hindi perfect square number, so considered siya as irrational numbers. Square root of 111, cube root of 10, ibig sabihin, ano yung number na kapag minultiply natin ng 3 beses, dapat 10 ang sagot. So, wala naman tayong eksakto doon. So, that means cube root of 10 is considered as irrational. And then, of course, yung pinaka-common na sample ng ating irrational numbers is the pi. Okay? So, aside from non-perfect nth numbers natin, meron din tayong mga non-terminating and non-repeating. Ibig sabihin, hindi eksakto yung decimal at hindi din siya umuulit na decimal numbers. Or walang pattern yung decimal natin. So, example niya, 0.12679256201 and so on. 3.9820183683 and so on. So, mapapansin mo yung decimal natin, continuous, walang katapusan, and at the same time, wala tayong pattern sa ating decimal digits. So, that means non-terminating and non-repeating decimals siya. Okay? So, sa madalit sabi, we could say that the real numbers in symbol, that's capital R. Okay? It is divided into two categories. Okay? The rational numbers, which is the capital Q, and the irrational numbers, which is the capital Q apostrophe. Okay? And then, irrational numbers is divided again into two categories. We have the integers, which is the capital Z, and the non-integers. So, sabi natin, ang non-integers natin, these are the fractions. These are the decimals. And then, yung integers natin, it is categorized into two again, the whole numbers and the negative integers. Okay? So, pero mas alam natin ang integers ay tatlo di ba? So, we have the positive, the zero, and the negative integers. Pero yung positive at saka yung zero, pag pinagsama mo, that's considered as whole numbers. Okay? So, take a look on the ating chart, and then kung ano yung mga symbols ng ating mga category of real numbers. Okay? So, pwede din natin siyang ilagay into Venn diagram. So, yung rectangle natin, which is the universal set, that's considered our real numbers. So, any numbers, they are all called real numbers. So, sa real numbers natin, meron tayong dalawang subsets. We have the rational numbers and the irrational numbers. So, kung babalikan natin, this is considered as disjoint set because rational and irrational numbers do not have common elements. Okay? Now, yung rational numbers natin, meron pa rin siyang another subsets. So, ito naman po yung integers at saka yung non-integers. So, mapapansin mo pa rin, hindi nagpatong si integers at si non-integers. That means walang common intersection or walang common element si integers at saka si non-integers. Okay? So, yung integers natin, sa loob ng integers, meron tayong 0 at saka meron tayong whole number. Meron tayong 0 at saka positive integers at meron din tayong negative integers. So, yung whole numbers natin, yun yung 0 at saka positive integers. Okay? So, let's have an example. Okay, categorize the numbers below based on the number system. So, i-identify dun sa mga categories na pinakita natin kanina ng rational, irrational, integers, non-integers, negative integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, and then zero. I-identify lang natin kung saan papasok yung given number natin. Okay? So, for example, positive 5. So, sabi natin kanina, lahat ng numbers na meron tayo, that's considered as real number. Okay? So, Dun sa real number natin, categorize siya as rational or irrational. So, since this is a whole number, pwede nating i-check si rational number because that's under the rational number. Okay? And then, 5 is a whole number, so under pa rin siya ng integer. And then, we are going to check the whole numbers. Okay? And then negative 12. So, negative 12 is considered as real number. Negative 12 is a negative integer. So, ibig sabihin, nasa loob siya ng integer. At kung siya ay integer, considered siya as rational number. Next, 3/4. So, 3/4, that's a real number pa rin. Sabi nga ni Ma'am, ulit-ulitin natin, kahit anong number yan, lahat yan, real number siya. Okay? Since 3/4 is a fraction, so that means that is non-integer. Okay? At kung siya ay non-integer, kung babalikan natin yung ating kaninang subsets, yung ating Venn diagram, ang non-integer ay makikita sa loob ng rational number. Next, 10.65. So, 10.65 is considered as a real number and 10.65 is a decimal, so that means it is a non-integer. At kung siya ay non-integer, nasa loob siya ng rational number. Next is the square root of 20. So, square root of 20 is still a real number. But, if we're going to take the square root of 20, wala siyang eksakto. So, mag-a-approximate lang tayo. So, that means it is an irrational number. Square root of 81. So, square root of 81, that's a real number. But if we get the square root of 81, that's equal to 9. So, we know that 9 is a whole number. Okay? So, ang whole number ay nasa loob ng integer. At ang integer ay nasa loob ng rational number. Next is the negative 2 over 7. So, negative 2 over 7 is still considered as a real number. Pero yung negative 2 over 7 is a fraction. So, kung siya ay fraction, siya ay considered as non-integer. At kung siya ay non-integer, nasa loob siya ng rational number. Okay? So, now, I want you to try this. So, categorize the numbers below based on the number system. So, yung process natin kanina sa example, same lang din naman po siya. Okay? So, bago mo din ito masagutan, kailangan alam mo yung ating Venn diagram kanina or yung ating chart kanina. So, para makita mo kung nasaan ba siyang category. Okay? So, i-post mo muna yung video na to and then pwede mo rin balikan yung video kanina, yung lesson kanina para makita mo kung saan ba talaga siya papasok na category. Okay? And then, pag may sagot ka na, pwede mo na i-continue yung video na to. Okay? It seems na may sagot ka na. Let's see kung tama yung sagot mo. And I hope you got it correctly. At kung sakali man na medyo nalilito ka pa rin sa part na yan, pwede mong balikan yung lesson kanina. Okay? That's all for today. Thank you for listening. Hope you understand our lesson. Bye!